Approaching end of year and shutting down for the holidays and the stress and everything around that can really be intense. And it's at this time of year that I'm usually reminded of some of the worst times I've ever had in my career, being overwhelmed, being tired, being burnt out, being, just having that feeling of thank goodness it's holiday, thank goodness we're shutting down, thank goodness we can take a break before we come back and do it all over again. And over years, this has become the norm for me until I changed how I think about work and how I think about productivity and how I think about the time that I invest into my business and how I actually spend my time and my energy. You see, when I had these years where I felt like everything was crumbling around me, I didn't manage my time. I didn't manage my energy. I just kept working and working and working without focus, without priorities, without managing my energy. And the outcome every year wouldn't vary that much. I would get to a point where I get irritated and agitated. I would get to a point where I just want to get in the car and go on holiday. And, obviously with the intent of coming back and being rested. But as I've grown personally as a human being and as I've put more and more frameworks in place to protect myself from this burnout and from this point and from feeling this way, I've realized that, working without objectives and priorities, working without a framework of protecting your time, working without frameworks to allow yourself the time to think and to really reflect on what needs to change in the business, you are going to end up in the exact same place. But recent years, and especially this year, has given me a much different experience. I still see people around me getting frantic and stressed. I still see people around me looking absolutely burnt out. And I can honestly tell you that even though I look forward to the holidays, I do not feel this absolute burning need and desire to escape from my life. And a couple of things have led to this point, and you can watch the videos on my channel. I elaborate on those, and there will be much more videos explaining that in future as well. But I've gone and highlighted my objectives for what I want to achieve in the year. I've gone and highlighted and broken down those objectives into quarterly and monthly objectives, and I've started actually planning my months. I would actually record everything in my notebook. I would write out the month in advance and I'd start planning my month. I'd start putting in key things. I'd start taking my objectives. I'd start breaking them down into smaller goals across those weeks. And I would then work on those things predominantly. So when I get to the office in the morning, I'll open my notebook, I'll start my day, and I'd start working through my list of 6 to 8 things to actually get to. And if there is something urgent that pops up, I'll go back to my monthly planning page and I would see where I have time to get to it. And if it's something really urgent, obviously there are things that you do need to get to on the day. But I would prioritize finishing up what I want to work on first, what I planned on doing first. And just this shift where I dedicate 3 to 4 solid hours in a day to the things that I intended to work on for that day, and thereafter, getting to all the other things, has really firstly allowed me to advance on my objectives much more than I actually planned for the year. And it also allowed me to just better manage my time and energy. You see, a lot of times we have big goals, and it's great to have big goals. You should always have big goals that scare you. But when you have that plus chaos around you, plus a bunch of things that suddenly become important, it is easy to overextend yourself energy wise, to start putting your priority on sleep on the back burner, to start putting your priority on your health on the back burner, to start putting your priority in terms of your relationship with your wife, your religious life, all of these things on the back burner, just to get through this period, and then we'll go on holiday and we'll feel much better. But as I've progressed on this journey and I've started prioritizing my goals and objectives and my time and energy towards working on these primarily, and then dealing with everyone else's chaos in my life, I can honestly say that being at year end for me is fantastic, because I can tick off goals and objectives. I've started working on my planning for next year, my goals and objectives for the coming year already. And I can say that I do that with energy. I can do that with planning and focus and strategic clarity. And instead of being burnt out and trying to put a strategy in place, I can actually now put a strategy in place while I am fully rested, fully conscious of the decisions I'm making. I now make the time in my day to sit and think and reflect. And it's these reflections ultimately that lead me on a journey of saying, what can we improve on next year? What should I aim for next year? What do I want to achieve personally in my career, in my marriage, in my fitness? What do I want to achieve in the coming year? And I now actually have the time to spend on that. And it's really is an amazing feeling. And if you are at the point where you feel burnt out, where you feel pushed down, where you feel like you are not getting to everything in a day, where you don't hit your goals and objectives, where you do not feel like you are progressing and you're feeling like you are falling more and more behind, I want to help you. I want to help you by being a guide for you on this journey of unlocking time freedom and strategic clarity, so that you can actually build the life and the business of your dreams while advancing your career, while advancing your family life, and spending more time with the people most important to you, while you do more of the things you love, while everything else in your life expands. I want to get you to a point where you can get to year end like you are now, and you do not feel bogged down. You do not feel overwhelmed. You do not feel overworked. You actually feel like you have an abundance of energy while you've achieved everything you've planned for the year, and you have the energy to dedicate towards planning the coming year, being strategic about it, looking at it from a zoomed out perspective, and being able to say that I am in control. I do not live in chaos. I live in clarity. I understand where I'm heading. I know what I'm dedicating my time and my energy towards, and I know what I no longer want to dedicate my time and my energy towards. I want to help you. I want to walk this journey with you. And if you are willing to walk this journey with me as well, I'd appreciate it if you can subscribe to the channel so you actually get constant updates and videos from me to guide you on this journey. If you feel overwhelmed at this stage and you don't know where to start when you are like on your time management journey, on your time freedom journey, then I want to urge you to please go to the description box down below and click on the link for the time leak audit quiz. It's a quiz that's going to take you about 2 to 3 minutes, but it is extremely powerful in the sense that after you've answered the questions, it actually goes and analyzes the answers, and I give you not only an analysis of where you are losing the most time, but also a full report on where I think you should start working to start reclaiming and regaining your time. This is the starting point. This is where I started as well, when I felt like I could not proceed and carry on with how I live my life and how I manage my energy and how I manage all of the priorities and things that are important in life, I started with analyzing where I can gain the most time. Because time, once you have time, you can start dedicating that towards growth and strategy and all these things. But if you don't have time, then it's very difficult to start improving your life. And this is exactly what the time leak audit does. It's a free tool. It's not going to cost you a single cent, but it is going to get you on the starting journey of unlocking time freedom. And I would really urge you to make this investment in your life, especially this time of year, especially now when you are tired, when you are bogged down, when you are overwhelmed, because I want you to know where to start next year. I want you to be able to invest your time in the best place possible. So if you found value in this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you want to see more of me in your feed. And if you are serious about taking the right step in this journey of yours. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.